everybody. Welcome to episode 13 of the Patchman Hockey Show. We are the Patchmen. I'm Jimmy, and that's Johnny. And on this show, we look at NHL patches and teach you the hockey history behind the patch. Every patch has a story, and this week we're talking about
the 20-year Dallas Stars anniversary patch, 1993 to 2013. As you can see right here, this is the patch. I think it's a really cool patch. Probably one of the nicest ones we've done so far.
I think it's an awesome patch. Again, you know, we talked about in episode 10 the Minnesota North Stars patch for their 25th anniversary season. Now we're talking about the 20th anniversary of the Dallas Stars, and honestly, you go from one great patch that was in 1991 and then you flash forward, 2 decades, and you have this great patch.
Yeah, you got the unique skyline of Dallas there. You got the nice green color, the gold, the black accents.
American Airlines Arena,
yep.
Or Center, American Airlines Center, whatever it's called. Just a really creative patch. Shout out to the designers who came up with this, because I think it's really cool. You have the arena in gold, and it's like the spotlight with this whole city behind the arena. It's symbolic. The city's behind the Dallas Stars. It just worked out really well.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job with this patch.
Yeah, and you look at the green, gold, and black color scheme of the Dallas Stars. We talked about this before. It just works so well. And so, but it didn't work out well.
These disgusting jerseys. Like, I think this is probably one of the worst iterations of jersey that Dallas has put out. Like, how it's literally just the name Dallas. The numbers are right under the letters in the center of the jersey. I think the Thrashers tried this one year and it still didn't look good. Just not my favorite. I think I said earlier, showing like my favorite jersey is like that Dallas Stars home, like 2000 era jersey.
Yep. Right. It's just really nothing is there. I mean, I don't understand how this even passed the design team, how this went into production. I don't understand, because especially the black ones, when I think of Dallas Stars, sometimes you think of color association. I think of green, because that's their primary color that they wore. There's no green in the black jerseys, the home jerseys, right, at all. It's just gold, white, and black. If you look at the away jersey, the white jersey, yeah, there's some green, but it's just nothing. It's nothing whatsoever.
It reminds me of the last North Stars jersey that they came out with.
Well, it was better than this.
I know, but I mean, like the alternate one, not the alternate one, but it's very similar in...
Just simple.
Just simple,
yeah.
Basic, but it's not a good basic or simple.
The patch is cooler than the jerseys. I mean, these jerseys are terrible. We hate them. I don't understand. Why would you even, as a fan, buy this? I don't get it. No. It's a waste. You could just go buy a long black shirt and just put some colors, put some gold and white on it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. You have Jaromir Jagr there, the GOAT. He shows up in this episode as well. We just talked about him in episode 11 in the Boston Bruins show. So he was acquired over the summer in free agency. Captain Brendan Morrow, he was a big-time player for the Dallas Stars. And then Stefan Robida, a solid defenseman on D. But this season didn't go as well for the Dallas Stars.
48 games.
Yeah, this was a lockout year, so they didn't start playing until January. But they still wanted to celebrate the 20-year anniversary, and they hired Mike Modano. Mike Modano came back, and he was the executive advisor. An alternate governor. You got a cat right here who wants to join the show. But and then 3-time Stanley Cup champion Mark Recchi, just talked about him too, was hired to bolster the hockey operations department. And then former Stars goaltender Marty Turco was on the TV broadcast. So they brought in a lot of old-time players, even though Mark Recchi never played for Dallas. Yeah, so they didn't do good. right, John? I don't think they did that great. They failed to qualify for the Stanley Cup playoffs for the 5th straight season. So Dallas, wasn't a good year.
Yeah, Yager led the team in goals with 14. Like that's horrible.
When we were researching for the show and I read that, it reminded me of a couple seasons later when Yager would join the Devils and Yager would be the leading goal scorer for the Devils. Like the oldest fucking guy on the team is leading the team in goals.
God.
Unbelievable. All right, Kat, go. My cat Romeo just wants to be part of the show. Anyway, all right, back to Dallas. So the cool thing about this patch was the logo was on center ice.
Yeah.
So that was really cool because I think I don't have a picture here, but it would look really good right in the center of the ice. I like that a lot. I like when teams do that. You're certainly not going to put Dallas in the center of the ice. So for the season, the GM, Joe Newendike, Hockey Hall of Famer, class of 2011. Who else? The coach, Glenn Golitzin, he would be fired in May, so he only lasted a few months. Again, shortened season, starting January, fired in May.
Brendan Morrow traded to Pittsburgh in March for Joe Morrow. No relation.
Not related. It's like Kevin Stevens and Scott Stevens. No relation.
Steven Stevens.
Steve Stevens.
Alternate captains this year: Jamie Bean, Louis Erickson.
Oh, Jamie Benn. Sorry, that's a big typo.
Yeah, what the Jamie
Bean.
Jamie Bean.
I see him play down at the American Airlines Arena.
The American Airlines Center. Ray Whitney.
Not Ryan Whitney. Stefan Robida and Louis Erickson. And Yogs would play for 4 months, but he would get traded to the Boston Bruins. Well, actually, did he play for more like a few months? He'd get traded, and he would make this was another fun fact. He would make his first Stanley Cup Finals appearance with the Bruins in 2013 after not being there since 1992. That's a long time. That's 2 decades later, and you're still, number one, you're still in the league. Number two, you're still an effective player in the league.
That's crazy.
And number three, you have another chance to win the Stanley Cup. Unbelievable. I don't think we talked about the record. The record was 22 wins, 22 losses, and 4 overtime losses. 5th in the Pacific, 11th in the Western Conference. Not good.
No. Not at all. What else? A lot of, going back to the 93 season, Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin.
Seguin.
Segue. Tyler Segue. Never mind. I just forgot what I was going to say.
What did you say?
I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, man. Have another sip of the White Claw, bro.
Anyway.
We're live.
Anyway.
Yes?
No, I forgot what I was going to say. I totally blanked out what I was going to say. I was going to say something about 93 and those 2 guys, but...
They weren't there.
No, I know that. But anyway.
All right. So, like I said, it was cool that Mike Modano was brought back. Oh, what was really cool, too, was just the fans of the Dallas Stars got to vote on, an all-time Dallas Stars team, which was pretty cool. And just to read off some of the names, I'm not going to read the entire listing here, but Stu Barnes, Jamie Benn, Guy Carbonneau. You had a lot of Brett Hull. Come on, you got to have him. Bo Guerin, Billy G, Jamie Langenbrunner, Mike Modano, of course, Brendan Morrow, Joe Newendike. And then defensemen, Darian Hatcher.
Yep.
Just a gritty defenseman. I think we talked about him on the North Stars episode. Richard Mafachuk, Daryl Sador, and Sergei Zubov. Sergei Zubov is a really good defenseman. Really good. And then, of course, when you think of the Stars, you think of goaltending. Eddie Belfour and Marty Turco. That is your top pairing goaltenders right there. But yeah, disappointing season for Dallas Stars. What's interesting is they would have new jerseys the next season. excuse me, in June of that year, so June of 2013, they would introduce brand new jerseys after, because we talked about this disgusting mess up here. And so they went back to more of like a North Stars green and a white and black, and they dropped the gold, which was interesting. And their new logo, I mean, again, I give it better than the Dallas, but it still doesn't beat the star. Like, you got to have the star, you got to have the font, the gold font with the stars angle as the A. Overall, great looking patch. I mean, I'm sure Dallas wishes they had a better season, but Dallas would get better. They continue to get better, especially with James Benn, acquisition of Taylor Seguin, who would come the following season.
I feel like a lot of these that we do for these like anniversary seasons, it's usually not a good season. Like, they haven't had to run a really great one yet, but
it's not like they had terrible players. I mean,
no.
I mean, Michael Ryder. There's always a tie with the Devils somehow. When Ryder was on the Bruins team. We just talked about him as well. He was a key piece, but his production dropped off. He had only 6 goals, 19 games. I think he got hurt. So he really wasn't effective. Eric Cole, who also was on the Oilers that episode as well, he was bouncing around by this point. He was not the same player that he once was. And then some other guys are good, like mid-tier, like third line, fourth line type players. But it's not a bad roster when you read it, but they're just missing. They're missing more pieces here. And they would trade a lot of these pieces. They'd trade Morrow. Morrow was already a star for 10 years at this point. Same thing with Marty Turco. So, yeah, it kind of was like. Yeah, well, actually, I don't think he played this season. Actually, I'm sorry. I apologize. He wasn't. He was already retired. But yeah, nothing to go home about with the Dallas Stars for this season. I bet they wish they could do it over. But that's what happens sometimes when you're successful. They had a nice run, Dallas. They were at the top of the Western Conference
for a while.
Yeah, the better part of the '90s, early 2000s, and then. It just drops off. You got to rebuild it. Everything is cyclical, so.
Yeah, it just hasn't clicked yet.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think. I felt like there was something else I wanted to mention, but.
Probably what I forgot before.
What?
It's probably what I forgot before.
Yeah, probably. Overall, though, great patch. We love the fine detail. And actually, too, something I just noticed. The font of the patch, I think they would still use this font of Dallas and Stars for when they did the rebrand, when they brought in the new logo, different word marks, things like that. They would just totally drop the colors out. Yeah, pretty good stuff. Dallas is the Stars are going to be in Dallas for almost 30 years, in a couple of years. So, I think now they've been in Dallas for longer than they've been in Minnesota. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're at that point now, but you know what? Shout out to the Dallas Stars for making the Stanley Cup Finals last year against Tampa, because they I don't think they were predicted to go the distance.
No, and they were a good team too.
Yeah, and they failed to qualify for the playoffs this year, so it sucks. They almost had their shot at another cup. I think all time Dallas they only have one Stanley Cup. They made it, I think, in 81, 91, 99, 2000. They lost like 4 times and won once. So, yeah, that sucks. You never want to see that, especially as a fan. But yeah, so that's the Dallas Stars, the 20-year anniversary patch.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
No, great looking patch.
Love it. I really love it. That might be one of my favorite patches. We have like really cool ones. Like, oh, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. They just keep some patches keep getting better and better.
Yeah. So keep following us as we do more patches. Follow us on Instagram. Trying to come out with some good stuff. Check us out on YouTube and the show on the podcast. Email us questions
at gmail.com. Yeah, look for us. We're starting to brand ourselves more. So. Keep asking us questions, comments, things you like, don't like.
Cool. So I'm John, that's Jimmy, and we're the Patchmen.
Peace.